Am I the a-hole for refusing to speak to my mom after 35 years of no contact now that she is old? Okay, so I, 56F, have been total no contact with my mother for 35 years because she married 8 times, had 6 kids, all different fathers, and parentified me since I was 10. She allowed SA to happen to all 3 of us girls and actually told me, "Shut up, he didn't hurt you," when she walked in and saw it happening to me. She lied about who my father was, and I didn't find out until I was 50 and did one of those DNA tests. I am the only child that went to college and made a life for myself, the others are druggies. So, I get a Facebook message from her oldest one, the one that did the essay she saw, saying I need to pitch in to take care of her since she is not doing well. So, my anxiety is off the charts. I need to say that they all live in the Southwest and I live on the East Coast. I replied that if he contacted me again, I would call the police. Now the sisters are trying to get me to take her in as, "You have a big place in money." I haven't spoken to my siblings in over a decade. I told them that they have no idea what is going on in my life, so kick rocks. So, am I the a-hole for continuing my no contact with them all? Am I the a-hole for wanting my bridesmaid to cover up more due to her boobs popping out of the dress we picked? Actually, I thought about it. I'm done. I have 8 bridesmaids where I only wanted one since family. We have gone through so many dresses that no one could agree on. I was going to pay for them since not everyone could afford it when I don't have to. I didn't want a church wedding, but apparently, I had to. Nope, I'm done. This was the last thing. I'm getting the wedding I want, and the family can screw it. I am keeping my BFF and the rest can screw off. I'm not even friends with almost all of them. I am moving my venue. I'm done. Was going to have to spend $1,600 on everyone. I'm not paying for a tailor. I'm done. I will make it really clear, her boobs are literally falling out of it. She moves and pop, the girls are out. We went shopping for bridesmaid dresses and we found one we all liked. It is a V-line strapless dress. Now my one friend Cindy has a much bigger chest than the rest of us, so when she tried it on, her breasts were basically popping out. Everyone else has a smaller chest and didn't have this problem at all. We tried a larger size and it way too baggy, so we talked to the employee and they suggested a panel to give more support and coverage. I informed Cindy that we will add a panel to hers and it will be all good. She got really mad at me and told me I was shaming her. She called me an a-hole and left. My other bridesmaids are on my side, especially since I am paying for the dress, and we all know dresses look different on people since everyone has different body types. She was moving a bit at shop and her breasts were popping out. They weren't staying, and it was especially bad when she went to reach for things. She informed me if I don't let her go as is, she will drop out of the wedding. Am I the a-hole? Update. I informed everyone we need to find a different dress, and now I am getting pissed off texts since we have been shopping 5 times before this and this was the only dress everyone liked. Today I effed up by sending a new hire my booty pic. I am a general manager at a chain restaurant. One afternoon I was home from work, stoned, feeling frisky, and sent my husband a booty pic while I was getting in the shower. I didn't realize he never replied because I was blasted. 3 days later I am doing orientation with a new hire. He arrives in high heels and long fake nails. He gives me a hug and proceeds to tell me he's really sorry for not replying, but thought because he was newly hired it was better to talk in person. It's not that he's trying to reject me, but he's gay and not interested in women. At first I was so confused because I obviously had gathered there was some flair to his sexuality, and I am also married. I said this was an inclusive workplace and he will feel right at home. He then proceeds to say he was confused because I sent him that picture. And cue my absolute horror as it all begins coming together that my husband never replied because I sent the picture to this poor sweet gay kid that I had hired the same freaking day. I am lying awake at 10:30 p.m. reliving the embarrassment right now.
Am I the a-hole for not backing down on my daughter's teachers calling her the proper name? My daughter, Alexandra, 14F, hates any shortened versions of her name. This has gone on since she was about 10. The family respects it and she's pretty good about advocating for herself should someone call her Lexi, Alex, etc. She also hates when people get her name wrong and just wants to be called Alexandra. She took Spanish in middle school. The teacher wanted to call all students by the Spanish version of their name, provided there was one. So, she tried to call Alexandra, Alejandra. Alexandra corrected her, and the teacher respected it. She had the same teacher all 3 years of middle school, so it wasn't an issue. Now, she's in high school and is still taking Spanish. Once again, the new teacher announced if a student had a Spanish version of their name, she'd call them that. So, she called Alexandra, Alejandra. Alexandra corrected her, but the teacher ignored her. My daughter came home upset after the second week. I am not the type of mom to write emails, but I felt I had to in this case. If it matters, this teacher is not Hispanic herself, so this isn't a pronunciation issue. Her argument is if these kids ever went to a Spanish-speaking country, they'd be called by that name. I found this excuse a little weak, as the middle school Spanish teacher actually was Hispanic who had come here from a Spanish-speaking country, and she respected Alexandra's wishes. The teacher tried to dig her heels in, but I said if it wasn't that big a deal in her eyes that she calls her Alejandra, why is it such a big deal to just call her Alexandra? Eventually, she gave in. Alexandra confirmed that her teacher is calling her by her proper name. My husband feels I blew this out of proportion and Alexandra could have sucked it up for a year. The school has 3 different Spanish teachers, so odds are she could get another one her sophomore year. Am I the a-hole?
Am I, 31F, the a-hole for sending my ex's, 38M, new girlfriend, 22F, who he cheated on me with, a thank you card? So, he decided he needed time to think one day and never returned home. I had to find him to get an explanation as to why he left. He told me he just couldn't do it anymore, that he loved me but not like that. I recently found out he was cheating on me for the past 4 months, so I've sent a thank you card to the new partner thanking her for taking him off me and allowing me time to work on myself. I've also told her I know they were cheating. I'm not sure if she was even aware. Am I the a-hole for lying to my parents about being infertile? I, 25F, went to visit my parents this weekend, and as usual my dad started talking about how I need to find a man because my biological clock is ticking and at this rate I'm destined to be an old spinster and will never get married or have kids. We have this conversation every time I visit, every few months, and I'm sick of it. I do want kids eventually, but once I'm financially stable and am not working 60 hours a week just to afford my rent. I got very annoyed and snippy and told him that my gynecologist told me last month I was infertile and I'm still mourning all the children I'll never have, and him bringing up me having kids really hurt because the wound is still fresh. He actually apologized, as did my mom, and the conversation ended. But since then, they've told all their friends who've been sending me messages about how sorry they are for my loss and how adopting is always an option. I'm beginning to feel bad for lying just to get out of an uncomfortable conversation.